Week 2, college football is here, baby. And I want to welcome everyone back to the Tailgate. Overreaction week, not for Florida State, not for you Seminoles fans. Shout out to you guys. Season's over in week 2 already. But we're here, man. We're back on Pub Sports Radio. You know, I love these Saturdays. Smash and grab Saturdays is like I like to call it. But if you were here last week, you know the deal. We don't got no time to waste. And last week we got, a little deep and we still had a lot to talk about. So I'm going to stop wasting time and I'm going to bring my 2 anchors of the show up here. You'll see them here with me every Saturday. 2 of my favorite cappers. I'll start right here with my dude, Wine Time Sports, off a very hot week 1 and week 0. Wine Time, how's it going, my dude?
Yes, sir. Daby Cab, my guy. Good to be here with you, man. Happy Saturday, man. Made it to week 2. Excited to break these games down with you, man.
Hell yeah. I think he might be doing something special for us. I thought we lost Moose for a second, but I think he's back there ready to go. So my other dude that's going to be here every Saturday with him, let me get him up here. Moose Money Bets.
Let's go.
Oh. Hey, guys. What's going on?
Welcome back, Moose. Ready to rock, man. I know you're a little frustrated backstage about last night, but we got the bad beat out of the way last night so that we can rock and roll today, right?
Hey, you got the sign behind you, man. It's good vibes only here. Good vibes only.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Let me get this up real quick. I want to get the retweet out on the Pub Sports Radio page. Everybody, if you don't mind, really quick, go to Pub Sports Radio on social media. Hit the retweet on the show. As you're coming in here, hit that like button, share it, send it to your grandma, your weed dealer, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your enemy. I don't care. Get it out there. We need to get this show loaded. We get 250 people live today. I'll do a $50 giveaway out of my own pocket. So all we got to do is get to 250 live, and I'll send one of you guys in the chat $50. But that's about it. That's enough fluff. I like to say fluff. That's enough fluff. Let me hit this chat real quick, though, because I do want to shout him out. Raymond Richard, good to see you in here, my dude. Oh, I said that wrong. Raymond, I got you, though. Rants, Smart Money Bets, Joey, everybody coming in, man. I see you in there, too, Wine Time. In the clutch, good to see you. Big Show picks. Anybody want to give me a it's the Big Show?
Well, it's the Big Show.
I mean, I feel like that was good. I wouldn't know any better, so I like it.
Mine.
Ava, Tom Leach, Talk Sports with JT. My dude JT said maybe he'll come give us a best bet one of these Saturdays. Justin in the chat, good to see you. Rolling in early, man. Adrian, good to see you. Boogeyman, I want to hit that Stackz play of the day. NJ Striker, that's my dude right there. We're getting paid today, NJ. I hope everybody's ready for this Saturday, man, because I'm ready. I got a lot more bets than I had last weekend, so I'll be a little bit more part of it. For our stacks, we got Tulsa right there, +8, and then we also got Utah -14.5. You're going to have to bear with me for a second, but let's hit that Stackz one time.
Stackz, 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 Stackz.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Big picking in the house down there. I see you, TJ. He tagged me. He said Texas -6.5 on DraftKings. Let me go ahead and write that down for you. And I will not spill beer on my bets that I take from you guys today. I will keep it clean in-house. TJ Perry got Texas -6.5. Well, boys, girls, ladies, gents, degenerates, gamblers, everybody in the chat on screen with me, it's time to make some. We're going to try not to cuss. We're not at that mark. It's time to make some doggone money. There we go. It's time to make some doggone money. We're going to start today with Wine Time's best bets. I know we waited a little bit last week for that, but I didn't like how we had to rush them out. Wine Time. So we're going to start with yours, my guy. What's the first game today that you would like me to put up on the screen for a graphic?
Yeah, you know what? Let's put up the game we're going to be live streaming today. Let's do the Michigan-Texas game.
Okay. Start off with the big boy. It don't get much better than that. I know Jose didn't forget to upload me a Michigan-Texas graphic. And he didn't upload me a Michigan-Texas.
No worries. I got it. Yeah, guys, we're going to be looking at this game. They're going to be playing in Michigan here, man. I'm seeing the line's already dropped to 6.5 right now. It went all the way up to a 7.5, down to a 6.5. Public's coming in on Texas right now. I was been kind of looking at Texas all week saying, they're a -7 on the road against the natty champs. They've got they're replacing a lot of things over there in Michigan right now, including their quarterback. They still don't really know who the guy is. I've been hearing Alex Orji might actually be getting more reps than he did last week. This week, they just didn't want to use him too much in that week. So it's going to be interesting to see. About Texas, though, man, they're a big play kind of team, man. Explosive plays down the field. Quentin Ewers, man, explosive quarterback. He's got his explosive receivers that he likes to throw to. He doesn't dip and dunk. Takes what he gets. He takes everything he can get. He goes for the long pass. He goes for the deep passes. He goes for the home run balls. This guy's got every tool in the shed to be a really good quarterback at college level and at the next level, honestly. I'm looking at this game a little bit differently, though. I'm going to be looking at the total in this one. You look at Michigan, man, one of the better teams, probably in my opinion, the best team in the nation defensively in the red zone. They know how to clamp it down in the red zone. They always have. They've been known for that. You saw that last week against Fresno State. Fresno State had the ball. I'm not sure who had the ball more in that matchup, but it seemed like Fresno State did. It seemed like they were driving down the field every single drive, and they would just get stopped in the red zone, throw a pick, miss a field goal, something like that. And, it's going to be rocking and rolling in Michigan today, man. This is a big game. You know what I mean? They're the dogs in this one, too. This total opened up at 44.5, I believe, on Monday. When I first saw it, went down to a 44. I took advantage of the under 44 in this one because I do think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I think Michigan's going to want to keep Quentin Ewers off the field as much as they can, so they're going to try to use up as much clock as the time by running the ball. And if they can run the ball successfully, they could do good things in this game. I think Texas might load the box and leave their cornerbacks on islands in this one, trust their cornerbacks against these Michigan receivers. But this could be an interesting game. I wish I had a side in this one because I'm going to be watching it. But as of right now, guys, I'm just on the total. It's dropped quite a bit. I think it's down to, you guys could maybe tell me like a 41.5, maybe a 42.5.
Okay, I'm going to put it in at 41.5 right now because I'm way late on it. Jose made me graphics. I guess we just didn't get one for the biggest game of the day.
No, you're good.
But what did you get in on this?
I got in at 44 on Tuesday morning. It's down to a 41.5 right now. I mean, I'm not going to give out 41.5 though, to be honest. I've already lost the number there. If you guys want to maybe tease something up with something else, put it in there. But I don't think this game's going to hit 40. So I guess I could say I still like the under 41.5. I just got too much good value on it. So I'm not going to double up and take the under 41.5 in this one.
Do you have a lean on a side? I would like to, a lot of times when people take unders, I think maybe they're leaning towards the dog.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm leaning towards right now is everything that I'm seeing. Everyone's pounding Texas right now after seeing Michigan. Michigan didn't, they won 30-10 last week, but it's very much a closer game than that. They returned a pick six for, I think, almost 100 yards in that game. I'm going to lead Michigan in this spot now. I'm not going to lie, I did lean Texas when I talked on the show with Jimmy earlier this week, but I'm definitely leaning towards the Michigan side in this one now.
Gotcha. I forget we got about as big of a Michigan guy as you can get in the chat with our guy Big Show. Shout out Big Show, man. I know he's big on his Wolverines right there. Moose, you bet this game? If so, what'd you bet and what are you thinking?
I am on Michigan. I did take the point. I looked at this game all week. Literally all week I looked at this game, and I couldn't pull the trigger until I got enough adult soda in me last night, enough liquid courage to pull the trigger. Not one game last year was Michigan not favored. I mean, again, they national champs. You kind of expect that. They're a home dog for the first time since Ohio State in 2021. In fact, that was the only time in the last 3 years that Michigan was a home dog. Michigan won that game and were dogs of 6.5, 7. Same as today. In the last 10 years, Michigan has only been a home dog 4 times in 10 years.
Wow.
Yes, Texas has been very good on the road. The last couple of years, they went to Alabama last year. We all remember as a 7-point dog, but now they're 7 points favors. So has Michigan gotten that much worse, or has Texas gotten that much better? Sarkisian is 5-5. ATS is an away favorite. It is hard for me to see this as a game decided more than a touchdown. I'm right there with Wine Time. I think this is going to be close. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. The Alabama game last year happened when Alabama was not nearly as good as they were later in the year. I mean, you remember that game against USF, which they're playing today. They were not the same team. Michigan's O-line didn't look as good as you'd expect it to play. Michigan standards, you'd expect them to be a lot better. This is still a very good Michigan team at home in the Big House. It might be an overreaction to not covering versus Fresno State, but I think this is a close game and that any team can win. But to be honest, I was hoping for a Texas pick'em. I was hoping to be on Texas here. But if I'm getting a touchdown in a game I expect to be low scoring and to be close, the under is intriguing. I do agree with Wine Time on that. But when I checked it on Saturday, the line was at 48-49. And now that it's down to like a 1.5, 42, like that's just, I'm not taking the ass end there. It feels a lot less appealing, but I do think this is like a 24, 21, 20, 23 type game. And that's kind of what I expect. I'm going to trust Michigan at the big house. They should not be +7 dogs here. I'm taking Michigan, sprinkle the money line.
So one thing I want to put out there, and it's a new season. So, sometimes things change, right? Things don't stay the same. For anybody out there that likes to bet on Texas, and if you've been betting on Texas over the last couple of years, you know exactly what I'm about to say, and you know what I'm talking about. Do not take them full game. Take them in the first half. Steve Sarkisian is my least favorite football coach when it comes to making halftime adjustments. I don't know what the fuck that guy does. We're past the 8-minute mark, so I can cuss now. I don't know what the fuck that guy does when he goes into the locker room. But I'm pretty sure he goes and takes a shit while the team just, has their own meeting or something. Because honest to God, the adjustments that Texas makes at halftime drive me crazy. I do like betting Texas at halftime. But I had a number at one point last year. I want to say it was like, I don't even want to put it out there, but games that they were winning by 10 points or more at halftime that they actually ended up losing in the last 10 seasons, there shouldn't be more than 2. And let's say there are several on Texas's lineup for that. So for me, if I was going to be betting Texas, I would take them in the first half. I didn't bet this game yet. We're live for it. I'm kind of hoping Michigan scores. I want Michigan to score early so then I can jump on Texas. I like Texas to win this football game. I think Texas is a better team than Michigan. I think a touchdown and a half, I think that's a little ridiculous. That being said, who knows? Texas might come out there and win this game by double digits. And I could keep going. I mean, because I got a whole list of notes I haven't even gone to on this game. We could sit here and talk about this till we're blue in the face. But the truth is we're going to have other cappers that are going to be popping up with us that are going to have this game on there. So we'll come back to it. Wine Time, before we move to your next one, I highlighted a couple. Let me hit them real quick. Ron Crawford. Shout out to my guy, Ron Crawford, one of the best cappers in the game out there. His NCAA play of the day, spreadsheet play of the day right there is Illinois. So shout out to Ron Crawford. Get that money with our guy, Ron. Talk Sports with JT. He got Michigan +7. He's got Utah first half -7.5 and Arkansas first half +6. Wow, that's a big number on Arkansas +6. I do not like how much that line's moved against me because I'm on Arkansas also full game. Tom Leach, he dropped one. He said his is Nebraska 6.5. Bam. We lined up right there, Tom. Let's get that money on Nebraska. But shout out to you guys in the chat. I'm seeing Ron said Michigan +7. Talk Sports with JT said Michigan +7. Justin said he wants to bet Michigan, but he hasn't done it yet. So it looks like we got a lot of love for Michigan. I'm not seeing a ton of Texas. My guy TJ Perry was on Texas, though, early. He dropped it. So shout out to you, TJ. Let's keep rolling, though. Let's see if we got a graphic for this next one. What's the next one we're looking at? One time.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Syracuse-Georgia Tech game.
Love it, man. When I introed this show off the top and I said week 2, overreaction week with like a question mark face, right? Look, it's Georgia Tech's the one who I'm interested to see play today. And shout out to the graphics because now I got it, but I got to get this other one down. I'm doing the best I can, guys. You got to bear with me.
Good.
Shout out to Big Show and Jose and the guys that do this. Clicking buttons is not easy. It seems easy, but it's under brand. That's why I can't figure it out. Clicking buttons is hard. And now I got Moose down there under look at that. Look at that beautiful show on screen. Was it an overreaction for Florida State after week 1? No, because they turned around and got their ass kicked again. Like I said, shout out to all you Seminoles out there. Georgia Tech, they've already won 2 games, but I think this is really their next test, right? Playing Syracuse is, Syracuse has a good football team, and I'll let you guys get into it, but I think there's a lot to like about this Syracuse team. And I think this number being at a 2.5 or a 3 is kind of telling for Georgia Tech, but we're going to figure out if Hayes King and Georgia Tech is the real deal or not today. What are you looking at, Wine Time?
Yeah, look at this matchup, man, between 2 ACC teams, 2 of the more underrated teams in the ACC, if you ask me. Both these teams kind of got slept on in the beginning of the year. Syracuse, they've got a lot of good things going with their program right now, I believe. They bring in transfer quarterback from Ohio State, Kyle McCord, 11-1 record as the Ohio State quarterback last year. They didn't want him down there. He ends up moving on, going to a school like Syracuse. It's not the flashiest school out there. It's a good school. It's a Power 4 school. I think this was the perfect spot for him. He's more of a pro-style quarterback, and this is more of a pro-style offense. They let him sit in the pocket. They've got some big boys up front on the offensive line. They've really beefed up that offensive line over there at Syracuse. They looked really good in that first matchup. I know it was against not a very good opponent, but they did look good protecting him. Kyle McCord, he can make any throw you ask him to on the field. He's not going to be the flashiest guy out there. He's not going to make what I was saying about Quentin Ewers earlier, like the big time throws, the 40-yard plus. He's going to dip and dunk. He's going to take what he gets. And if he's able to take those 20-yard passes, he'll take them. But he's more of a dip and dunk kind of guy. There's no surprise what Georgia Tech wants to do here, what they've been doing all season, what the head coach said after the game against Florida State. They want to run the ball. I feel like everyone in the nation kind of knows that now. I expect Syracuse to load up the box in this one and try to stop the run in this one. Force Haynes key to throw. I know he led the ACC in touchdown passes last year, and he is a pretty good passer. You know what I mean? But I very much think he's more of a better runner than passer. I'd rather see them throw than run in this situation. So if Syracuse can stop the run, they did really bad last week stopping the run. Did not look good at all. Me and Moose were talking about that earlier in the week. Looked at that tape, man. A lot of holes for the other team that were just not going towards Syracuse's way defensively. I think they're going to make some adjustments, though. I think if they give McCord time to throw, they're going to try to take as much time off the clock as they can as well. This total's high, man. It's up to a 62 now. I was never looking at the over in this one, but it very much feels like this is going to go over. It feels like this is going to go way over. Both of these teams are going to put a lot of points on the board here. I just think Syracuse being at home here, they're going to be playing in front of 50,000 strong, not a lot of people. But it's a good amount, and they play in a dome, so it's going to be very loud in there. It's going to be very hard for the opposing team to hear through that new headset and all that stuff now too. So it's definitely going to be difficult for Georgia Tech. I think this is definitely their biggest test. Florida State, very hyped going into this year, kind of learning that they weren't as hyped as we thought they were. They're not going to go to the college football playoff, anything like that. So I'm looking at Syracuse +3 in this matchup. I think it's sneaky. I think all week, the public was getting in on Georgia Tech. I'm seeing now more people have kind of gotten in on Syracuse. This line's gone from 3 to 2.5 back to 3. I'm on Syracuse +3 in this one. I just think this is going to be a field goal type of game. I think it's going to come down to 3 points when it's all said and done. I think Syracuse can get these guys outright, honestly, at home, just because they are at home. So I am on Syracuse +3 -110 in this matchup.
I love it. Moose, I'm about to pass it to you, but we set a precedence week 1, letting everybody know I want to know their bets, and I do because I'm keeping up with them. So shout out to all you guys in the chat dropping them. I got our guy Tim York. He said same game parlay, Michigan +3.5 plus Texas money line first half for +850. Through the way I broke that game, Tim York broke down that game. I love it, man. Sounds like you listened and put something together with that. That's beautiful. Nate Dogg said he's got Syracuse +3, so he's rolling with you. Tom Leach also on Syracuse +3. Drunk, I hope I'm doing it right again. Eero, he said he's got the Golden Gophers -24. Shout out to Minnesota. And then on the last game, our guy Steve dropped in. He said the line going below 7 tells you Michigan is the side. He's a diehard Buckeyes fan, but there's no way they should be dropping 6.5. It's a crazy spread, man. It's a crazy spread. This game right here, I was wondering, Wine Time, what side you were going to be on, because it kind of made me feel a little bit like the Miami-Florida game week 1 as far as the line goes, the road team being right at that 2.5, not getting over the 3.5. But I guess you're looking at it different because you got Syracuse. Are you betting this game, Moose? And if so, what are you looking at?
I was hoping I could bet this game, but unfortunately the number on Jamal Hines was it was way too much. It was up there like at 118, so I ended up staying off. The visitor has lost the last 3 meetings straight up and ATS. Georgia Tech is 4-1 in the matchup, but Syracuse has gone 3-2 ATS. Georgia Tech 8-4 ATS and ACC road games. Brent Key has done well on the road. He is 6-4 straight up, but he has never been an away favorite. So this is new territory. Popping that cherry, so to speak. Key is 10-5 ATS in conference. Fran Brown is a first-year coach and will have his first major test. Syracuse looked very exploitable on the ground, and that runs right into what Georgia Tech wants to do. If you want the full breakdown, you can check out my Moose Dives. Just drop me a DM with your email, and I'll give you the access to the entire document. But a couple more interesting facts here. Syracuse doesn't have a good track record of playing in their conference, 24-58 straight up, but they are 40-42 against the spread. Syracuse was okay against Ohio, but I kind of think that in the first year, and you have a bye week coming up next week, you put together a game plan for your first 2 games, and that's kind of what you're doing. Whereas a veteran coach is going to be able to adjust, week to week. I feel like as a first-year guy, and this is just me being a coach but not coaching football, you are trying to go in with a specific game plan, get your players as ready as you can to execute that game plan, and then you make your adjustments in the bye week. So I'm off on the side. I don't really have a play there. I really wanted to get on Haynes. Sorry, I think I said Hines earlier, Jamal Haynes, but the number was just too high. I couldn't get there. I do lean a little bit Georgia Tech here, but nothing strong enough to make a play.
Okay. Well, in that case, we keep it rolling, man. Prime VA said he is on Penn State minus 35.5. Jerry said he's got Texas State. Ooh, I don't want to talk about that game. Texas State, Tulsa, Virginia, Washington State, book it. Mr. Heat said he's got Penn State over 41.5. And then I saw one up here that made me laugh because I wasn't sure if you meant money line or motherfuckers. Drunk Euro said Virginia, Cuse, Ohio, motherfuckers. And I think he might have meant to put money line. So I'm going to go with that was an ML. Shout out to you, Drunk Euro. The world is yours. He said he likes the minus 145 for Georgia Tech better than laying the points here. Shout out to my dude Dutch. He's been doing that. I know he was on the Chiefs and the NFL. He took the minus 150 with that. So, as long as you win your bet, I don't care how you do it. If you're going to lay juice, just make sure you win. That's my thing. Shout out to you guys. We're going to keep this rolling, man. We got over 120 people in the chat already rocking with us. I keep saying it. If you can, share it. I'm seeing so many names in the chat that I've never seen on any of our shows before. And that's what I love more than anything. So if you're listening, you're on X or you're on one of our social media platforms, go ahead and jump on YouTube, Pub Sports Radio. And join the chat. We want to hear your bets. We want to see what you're thinking. We don't all have to agree here. Disagreements are how we learn and how we get better. So get in here, share the video, and let's keep this train rolling, boys. Wine time. Where are we going next?
Let's go. Let's go right to Iowa City.
Okay. Big one. Yeah,
this is a big game, man. Not only is this a big game, it's the biggest game of the year for the state of Iowa, man. Everyone's going to be at this one. They're going to be rocking and rolling there in the tailgate, man. Both these fan bases, man, they want to beat each other so bad every single year. This is their Super Bowl for the fan base. Both these teams, though, man, both these teams looking good going into 2024, honestly. I like Iowa State. I like Iowa. Iowa, we saw them make adjustments the second half last week. 6-0 going into halftime, and I was beating myself up. Why didn't I take that under? What happens? It ends up going over. They end up getting up to 40 points. They really put the fucking foot on the gas pedal in the second half in that one. It definitely looked like they made some adjustments after bringing in the quarterback Lester from Green Bay Packers. Looking at Iowa State, on the other hand, though, this defensive coordinator, kind of an old-timer. He's been there for 9 years. This guy knows how to run a defense. He knows his personnel. He knows what kind of guys he likes. They're deep everywhere on the defensive side of the football, if you ask me, Iowa State. They didn't look – again, this team didn't look that great against the run last week, and especially on one drive specifically – where it was like a 7-minute drive and they were just allowing third and shorts, just conversions after conversion after conversion. That's what Iowa likes to do. They like to get it in third and manageable, and they like to run the ball. There's no secret what Iowa likes to do. They're very conservative. They don't want to turn the ball over. They're never going to go for it on fourth down. Very, very rarely, at least. You look at these matchups, man. Iowa's won this matchup the last 7 of 8 years. This total has gone under 17 of the last 19 games. You'd think I'm on the under in this one, guys. Just couldn't get there, man. I think everybody knows about these Iowa unders after last year. They were hitting like crazy. You can see the public is getting involved on the under. It's moved down to 35. I think it was out at 35.5 pretty much all week. It's been around that number. I just think Iowa State, they're going to want to come out and win this game, man, for their coach. Talk about Campbell, man. Really good coach over there. Him, too. He knows his personnel. He knows his guys over there. He loves the culture over there, what he's building over there. This is a big game for him. He beat this team a couple years ago in the rain. Very close game where Iowa actually should have won that game. Iowa really blew that game. You look at it, giving a +3 here, man. I'm on Iowa State +3. I think they're going to get these guys outright, honestly. In the trenches, I think they're going to get – I don't mean my guy –
That's such a funny face.
My guy Moose have been talking about this one all week. I like Iowa State, though, here, +3. I'm on Iowa State +3.
All right. You know, one thing for the Cyclones is they got a bunch of starters, right? They got a bunch of people returning. Their offensive line, their defensive secondary.
They do have some question marks, some questionable guys on the defensive side of the football from what I've heard. But I just hear from what the coach is saying that they're so deep at that position. These guys have been there for a couple of years. These guys don't really transfer anywhere. They stay very much at the university. They know this defense. This guy's been the D coordinator there for 9 years. It's very much the same thing they're going to run every year. And I like the defense they're running over there. So Iowa State +3. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. Keep taking it. Cause I didn't bet this one anyways. And I don't want you to think I'm leaning one way or the other. One thing I will say though, is if anybody's looking at that under, Iowa State, they were only able to put up 21 points against North Dakota, an FCS school. I mean, it's like fucking, it's like a service academy game. It's just like under, right? Like it's under. If you're going to bet it, it's under. I'm not doing it. Moose, let's hear it. I know you're waiting. Let's go.
All right. First off, Iowa State did not look great against the run last week, and that's kind of what Iowa's going to do. Iowa is 47-23 straight up against Iowa State. Last year, Iowa State outproduced Iowa on offense, but did lose 20-13. Kirk Ferentz is 119-47 at home. As a home favorite, he is 68-59 ATS. In 2022, Iowa State came to Iowa and won outright, a 3-point dog. Iowa State is technically looking for a revenge spot, but the same narrative exists for Iowa that wants to revenge a home loss. That's not really a common quote, but sometimes you just throw up quotes to make things seem a little bit more important. I like Iowa as a playoff team. I really like Iowa State. I did take them on some futures, but I wasn't looking at their playoffs the way I was looking at Iowa. Iowa and Ferentz has played Campbell extremely well recently. Iowa is 7-1 straight up and 5-2 ATS since 2015. I really like Iowa here, and currently a -2.5 out there, which is when I bet it. Under 3 is a very critical number in a game that I think a lot of us would agree is going to be low scoring and very physical. This is probably the best offense Iowa has had in a while. Iowa State also has one of its better offenses. Both of these offenses are some of the better versions this series has seen recently, but these defenses are the real deal. Iowa shut out Illinois State, and Iowa State only gave up a field goal to North Dakota. I kind of think Iowa moves the ball a little bit this game, but as contrarian to play as it would be, I still think this game goes under. Both teams ranked last year in the bottom 5 of plays per game. So -2.5 is significantly better than a -3, which is what I took. I really like Iowa State, but from the depths of my soul, break the rock.
All right. So we got Moose and Wine Time on opposite sides here for this game. Let me go ahead and write this down so I make sure I got it.
Moose touched on this, though. This is going to be the most physical matchup of the day. Both these teams very physical up front. They're going to want to go at each other. I'm excited for this one, man. It's going to be a smash mouth type of football game.
Hell yeah, man. Razors, shout out to Razor Sharp Picks in the chat. He is on Iowa State +3 with you. My dude Razor. Do Medicate Mondays with him every Monday. If you have not tuned into the sesh, it is a show that goes off at 11 a.m. on Mondays on Pub Sports Radio. I highly recommend tuning into it. We have a good time. But everybody in the chat, man, keep rolling in. We're up to 150 now. Like I said, hell, I'll make it easy today. Forget the 250. If we get up to 210, I'll do a $50 giveaway at the end of the show. Only problem is I'm the only producer. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it. We'll figure out something. I'll figure out something. But shout out to you guys. Let's keep rolling. Wine Time, did you have another one, or are you ready to roll into our best bets with our guy Kong?
Let's roll into our best bets with our guy Kong. I can talk about that Washington State. I can talk about that later, so no big deal.
Okay, cool. And either way, like I said, either way. So as everybody knows on this show, we bring people up to give their best bets. If you in the chat have a best bet that you would like to come up on stage and give, let me know. I want to get some of you guys up here. I think it's a lot of fun to interact and, learn from everyone, because nobody's special, man. And as soon as you realize that, that's when you're going to start winning at gambling. I promise. As soon as you realize it's all about, analysis, learning, evolving, growing. But that's enough on that soap opera. Last week, this guy was absolutely dominant. Week 0, he was dominant. His college football record is outstanding. And definitely, he's going to bring us some more winners today. Shout out, without further ado, to my dude right here, Kong's Clips. And, there we go. What up, Kong?
Let's go, Kong. Let's go.
Yo, what's up?
Yes, sir.
Happy Saturday, fellas.
Happy Saturday, my guy.
It's good, man. Your audio's great. Picture's good. Got winners on deck. I know.
Good deal.
Ready to rock,
Yep.
man. Ready to rock. If you can, Kong, if you're cool with it, I'm gonna put you on the main screen. But first, let me know what game you're gonna talk about first, so I can get a banner up there for you.
Jacksonville State at Louisville.
Okay, let me see. I hopefully have a banner for it. If not, I will get it made while you're talking. Okay, no banner for this one. Shout out to me having to produce myself. I'm gonna put Kong's on, guys. You heard it right here. Jacksonville State versus Louisville. Kong, while you're breaking this down, I'm gonna get a graphic. But let's hear it, my dude. Hit that thing.
All right, new Louisville quarterback Tyler Shuck, who transferred from Texas Tech this season, come out red hot against Austin Peay, where he went 18 for 24, had 232 yards, and threw for 4 touchdowns in the first half. I like this kid, but we won't really know what Louisville has until they play Georgia Tech on the 21st. Long story short, Coastal Carolina beat Jacksonville State by 28 last week. I love Louisville this week. They blow J State out and cover the 28. Give me the best number. I'll bet it again. I won't give out anything that I won't bet. I bet it earlier in the week and gave it out on my X at 25.5. We're sitting at, I think, 28.5 now.
Well, let me say this, man. That's totally up to you, and I have huge respect for you saying that for the people that are just now tuning in. So if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But let me be very clear. Kong posts his bets on X, and he posts them the moment that he makes them. He gives you very clear lines that you're able to bet. So if you're in the chat and you want to make sure you have the same line as us, follow him. It's that simple. Go on X, go on social media and follow him. Because if I was you, Kongs, I'd tell them that's their loss. They should have got in with me earlier, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I think it's a 40-point game, honestly.
Okay, I got it. So we got Louisville here. I didn't get a graphic made. My bad. What's your next one you're looking at?
Texas, Michigan.
Beautiful, beautiful. I got a banner for that one already. I'm ready to see what you got here. I want to see if we got anything contrarian. Let me hear it.
Texas team total under. Gave it out earlier in the week at 26.5. I don't believe any team scores 27 against Michigan this year. I believe we see Saturday just how good this defense is. Low scoring game. I like Texas at -7. I lean Texas -7.5, but I can't bet it. I think Michigan scores on defense. I also believe that last week they played both quarterbacks to give Texas 2 things to prepare for this week. So I haven't got there on a side, but Texas team total under 24.5 is what it's down to now.
Beautiful. And don't worry about the sides because all that matters is that we win the bets. I like it. Texas team total under. Where are we going next?
Ole Miss and Middle Tennessee State.
Got a feeling I don't have one for that. I don't know what happened on the upload of the graphics. It just replicated several of them. And I messaged Jose and he's like, oh, all you got to do is download it. I'm like, dude, I can barely produce this show and click buttons. Do you think I'm going to download something while we're sitting here live? Like, come on, bro. It ain't going to happen. So one more time for the chat. What was this one that we're on so they can just hear it?
Ole Miss and Middle Tennessee State.
Okay, cool. What are we looking at here?
We have what I believe to be an elite offense from the SEC playing a middling Conference USA team. After what I seen last week out of Jackson Dart against upper echelon FCS school, I'm laying these numbers this season with Ole Miss in these kinds of games. Again, we won't really know what they have until the Kentucky game later this month. But in my book, Ole Miss is bet on this season. I gave it out earlier in the week again at 39.5. It's now sitting at 42.5. I don't like the going over the key number, but I could see Ole Miss putting up 60 again this week.
I agree. And Ole Miss is one of those teams. With Kiffin, they're not gonna give you a break. I don't care who you are. I don't care who they're playing against. They're gonna put
on the gas.
Yeah, put as many. And that's one thing. I always say this for people betting college football. Know your coaches, right? Especially if you're attacking a large spread. Know your coach and know who's going to go out there. Lane Kiffin's one of those people who's not going to slow down. It could be 70-0 and he's still going to try and score.
Yeah. Also, I heard last week that Lane Kiffin might be trying to get Jackson Dart in the Heisman conversation. to leave him in the games longer. So I think they
Yeah.
cover this number.
I think he only played one half last week, and did he throw for almost 500 yards?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I
was
believe he did.
That was just. I'm high on this Ole Miss team. I have been. I've gotten on them. The futures over 9.5. I have them. Jackson Dart winning the Heisman. Them going to the college football playoff. All that. I'm really high on this Ole Miss team, so I love it. They're not going to stop. They're going to put the foot on the gas, and they're not going to stop.
Yeah.
You said you had 4, or did you have 5? Because you got 1 or 2 more, don't you?
I have one more. Tennessee at NC State.
Tennessee at NC State. Unbelievable, the graphics that I don't have. Guys, next week I promise the graphics will be better. I can't do anything about it, so we don't have it. And I've got a bet in this game too. I'm all over the Vols here. I bet them every which way I could early in the week. But let's hear it, Kong.
Nico Iamaleava, he destroyed a bad team last week in one half, going 22 for 28 for 314 yards and 3 touchdowns. Iamaleava with Josh Heupel has Heisman candidate written all over it. They face a better defense and a better offense in NC State with Grayson McCall under center. But Tennessee has too many dudes on offense. They also have a really good defense. Western Carolina put up 21 points last week on NC State. I think Tennessee puts up 40 on a bad day. I believe they win by double digits. And I gave that out at minus 7.5 earlier in the week. We're looking at a 9.5 now. I think it's still good up through 12.5. So Tennessee.
Love it, dude. I love it. So we got 4 best bets from our guy Kong, who has been just red hot. Not I say last week on Saturday. It's not just Saturday. You've been red hot this whole college football season, man. It's been a beautiful thing. But I got Louisville ATS. I got Ole Miss ATS. I got Texas team total under, and I got Tennessee ATS for you. And I'm just putting ATS because the numbers, the moving, and all that. I want everybody else to be able to decide. But those are the 4 I got for you, right?
Yep, and I've also put all 4 of those in a parlay. It was plus 7, I think 781.
And I don't take those, like, I'm not going to write all that. Like, I did put that it's in a parlay since it's simple, but you hit your parlay you gave out on here last week, didn't you?
Yep.
It was like plus 522.
Yeah, I usually do 3 of my best bets in a parlay, and I put 2 units on it every week.
Okay, man.
Oh.
Beautiful, Kong. I'm loving this, man. I'm loving and doing this with you. The chat is loving you. You got a lot of love in there coming in. My dude, BT, man, I got to kick it with BT in San Antonio, man. That's family right there. Shout out BT, man. If you ever have any best bets, BT, we got to get you up here. Mr. Heat, North Ender. You got a lot of love, though. You got a lot of love coming in the chat, Kong. Well-deserved. You got any last words for anybody before we keep it rolling?
Yep. Shout out Jeff Slaughter. Shout out Pub. Shout out everybody. Let's get some cash again today, man.
Let's do it, Kong. Much
Great
love,
work,
man. I'll
Kong.
see you again soon. Let's go, man. Shout out to our guy Kong's clips.
Love it.
You guys know how this goes. Like, after somebody gets off, I want to reminisce about their bets and I want to sit here and talk, but we don't got time for that shit. We got another person coming in right now, ready to fire away. And I know this person well because he is the co-host of probably the greatest goddamn show on the planet. I already told you guys about it earlier. Every Monday, 11 a.m. here on Pub Sports Radio. Me and my guy, Dutch Boy Fresh. What up, Dutch?
Sir.
What's up, fellas?
Man,
What up, Dutch?
Wine time, my guy. Moose Money out there, Mr. Diego. How we doing, my guys?
man,
Oh, well.
I'm just glad you got up because I know it's early for you out there on the west side, man.
Crazy thing is like I was up, like 6:45. It's almost like a fucking Daby Cab alarm clock going off in my fucking head, you know?
Did it say wake up and get money?
Yeah, wake up, get money, man. Good. You brush your motherfucking teeth, roll the fuck up, and put the jersey on, boys. Finally get to wear the FSU. Haven't been able to wear it the last 2 weeks. You know, I've been fading my team, so it just doesn't feel right having money against your boys with the jersey on. So it feels fresh, you know. You can say what you will about the Seminoles, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, man, it's good to be with you. Shout out to Kong's Clips.
You're getting love from the chat. They're saying a real FSU fan.
I'm telling you, I've been looking at this motherfucker for 3 weeks. Like, goddamn, I can't put it on. But yeah, DJU ain't it. We won't go down that road though, Cap. We won't go down that road. But yeah, I got 5 plays, man. I got some of these lines have moved. One of them has moved out of our favor, actually. I believe it's the game that we're actually on together, Cap. But I like this card. Let's just get right into it. We'll go right to it because I know Weinstein already gave out his Syracuse look, right? I'm sure he broke that down.
Mhm.
And I think our guy Cons Clips, shout out to Cons Clips too, plus 20 units last week. I believe he's on the other side. So let me tell you why I'm on the Yellow Jackets. Now everyone's probably talking, oh,
Okay.
because they beat Florida State, right? Absolutely not. I mean, I think I was high on Georgia Tech before week 0, and I think they've only realistically done what they're supposed to do: compete against Florida State and actually beat them outright in Ireland. And then look at how bummy Florida State looked coming back from Ireland. We talked about it on the sesh. Georgia Tech didn't look that way. I mean, yes, it was Georgia Southern, but they could have fucking cakewalked through that. They held them to 13 points, handled business. They're 2-0 to start the season against the spread as well. They've actually covered 6 out of the last 8 games on the road, and they're 4-1 straight up last 5 meetings versus these boys, covering most recently the 6 last year in Georgia. So they've kind of had their way with Syracuse 1-6. Hughes is 1-6 ATS versus the Coastal Division overall. Now they allowed last week 2-0 Ohio, 255 yards on the ground to fucking Ohio. Okay, now the one guy, Anthony Tyus, Ohio, had 203 yards. You think it was a quarterback doing all this shit? This motherfucker had 203 yards, 12.7 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. Anthony Tyus, that motherfucker ran all over him. And now you're going to give me Haynes? We seen what Haynes did to Florida State. I mean, they run the gap. They run the gap run every single fucking time against Syracuse. They had absolutely nothing for them. Absolutely nothing for it. You put that in with what we've seen them do against Florida State. Say what you will about that defense. There's talent all over it. NFL talent all over it. I know you don't like Hayes King, but he's a real nice fit in this Georgia Tech offense. He's going to give them fits on the defensive side, and Haynes is probably going to run for 215 today. I mean, honestly, if you guys like these props, Haynes is a hard, physical NFL running back, and he will run all over Syracuse. They have absolutely nothing for him defensively. Now, I'm a little worried about Syracuse from an offensive perspective. I do believe they'll move the ball. I lean over here. But at the end of the day, when I watched the tape on Syracuse, they couldn't stop motherfucking my ass from getting 150 if I got the pads on right now. They literally were not touching an Ohio running back for 4 to 5 yards. So and seeing as well as Georgia Tech is on the offensive line, we've seen it in the trenches. This is a fucking nightmare matchup, in my opinion, for the Syracuse Orange. Also, wide receiver for Ohio, Coleman Owen. 10 receptions for 137 yards against these boys. I mean, Syracuse couldn't even stop this motherfucker. Now you bring in Malik Rutherford, who's got 11 catches, 197 yards, average 18 yards per catch and a touchdown. 42-yard catch versus FSU, 52-yard catch versus Georgia State. He's going to do the same goddamn thing against this suspect Syracuse defense. Georgia Tech, minus 2.5. It's good money, man. It's good money. Sorry about that one time. But, hey, I'm with the yellow. This is a tough game, though, I will say it. But that run defense, I just believe it's literally, like, perfect for Georgia Tech. Next game on the list, we got Michigan. This line has dropped a little bit. I'm really, really high on Michigan, plus 7.5. I think it touched down to the window. I even liked the plus 225 last night. Money line, I think it went down a little bit for good reason, guys. For good reason. This line was 2.5. 2.5 2 weeks ago. It moved all 5 points. Why? Because Texas did what they were supposed to do, and Michigan didn't show you what they can do because they had Texas on deck. I mean, it's pretty much what it is. I mean, they allowed 9 rushing yards. Now, say what you will, who they played. 9 fucking rushing yards to Fresno State. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. So I believe they'll make Texas one-dimensional. I think Alex Orgy is going to be a big piece in this game. He's a dual threat, can throw the ball, can run the ball, and I think Texas is going to have a hard time with his physicalness. Averaged 6.4 yards per carry last week. And also they got Mullins, the dual threat the running back here, 15 carries, 92 yards, 6 yards per carry last week. And I don't believe Fresno's as bad as everybody thinks, but personally, I believe Michigan had the cuffs on them. I believe Michigan put the cuffs on because they got Texas coming to town. Also, 10-0 straight up Michigan is. So I know they don't have Harbaugh. I know they lost the quarterback. This is a top 5-10 defense in the nation. Talent all over the place. They're better in the trenches. They've won 10 straight football games. They've won 20 straight in the big house. And now you're going to give me a motherfucking touchdown in the hooker? I'm going to the window. I think they're live to win the game. Texas 0-5 ATS last 5 versus Big Ten teams. I just think, and also Justin Marshall for Colorado State had 25 carries, 106 yards against this Texas defense last week. And I know Texas looked damn good. That's 4.2 yards per carry. And his longest rush was 13 yards. Now, I say that to say, if that boy from Colorado State can get 100-plus yards on 25 carries against this Texas defense, what the fuck do you think Michigan will do? They're going to run it right down their fucking throat. I think Michigan wins this football game, but give me the touchdown, man. Give me the motherfucking 7. This next one, yeah, man.
I like my favorite thing about that whole thing is when you said Texas did what they were supposed to and Michigan didn't show you what they could do. That had a nice little ring coming off the tongue, man. I like that.
I'm just saying, Texas is out. You know, Sarkisian's out there like he's got to keep the backup quarterback out. He's got talent, but when it comes down to it, and I remember you saying this. Remember this last year, Texas doesn't really cover big numbers, right? Weren't you Texas first half last year, Cab? You know, they found a way. They'll be up 3 touchdowns and find a way to give it away, right? Covering wise.
You cannot. I said it earlier on the show. I'm pretty sure that during halftime, instead of making adjustments, Sarkisian goes and takes a shit and lets the team like talk themselves. Like I'm 90% sure that's what's going on.
So and Sarkisian's one hell of a. Go ahead, my bad.
No, I was just saying, my bad for killing your flow, man, because you're absolutely dominant. Our guy Talk Sports with JT, God, I'm dyslexic. JT said, talk that shit, Dutch. God damn it, this man is good. North
Babe, good to see JT back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. I'm locked into this college this year. You know, I took a couple years off, but we back. And, you know, I had to, Daby Cab fucking got me up here early, ready to rock and roll for your asses. So we bring it. Next game on the list, Wake Forest. Now here, this one, we got Virginia going to Wake Forest. Obviously, this game is the only line that really has moved against me. I believe, Cab, are you still on this game? Are you on Wake Forest?
Yes,
or no?
Yes. I'm on Wake Forest. Yeah.
I bet this at -130, and it was -2.5, I believe, at the time, 2.5. So I took the -130. I believe you can get it at a better number now. I think it was a pick 'em this morning, or maybe even down -1. So people are liking the Cavaliers here, but I think the X factor in this game, and I broke down both of these teams in the ACC. So if you're wondering why I go to the ACC, it's because it's fucking what I broke down in the summertime. It's what I feel like I know the most. I believe this is a tough game. I believe it's a competitive game, but I believe the X factor in this game is going to be the Wake Forest defensive line. They bring back everybody, and it's very talented, led by Jasheem Davis. Dude's absolute fucking stud. Had 17.5 tackles last year for loss. 7+ sacks. He's going to do he had a sack in week 1. I believe he's going to really disrupt this Virginia offense. And the Virginia does have a talented offense, talented quarterback in Calandro. But he's like, wow you, and then why the fuck did you do that type of kid? You know, he's going to make a play that you're going to be like, damn, I don't know if I should have bet against this guy. And then the next fucking drive, he's going to make a play and say, that's why I bet against this fucking guy. Because he literally thinks he's fucking Johnny Manziel. So, and he looks kind of fragile back there too. Somebody laid a wood on this little motherfucker. Solid running back and pace as well. So I know Virginia will be able to move the ball, but I do think, Kevin Porter on the defensive line as well. Played there last year. These guys are all back. They're all ready to attack, and I think that they're going to really disrupt this offensive line for the Virginia Cavaliers. Also have Dylan Hazen, the leading tackler in the linebacker room last year, to round up these boys. I think the front 7 of the Wake Forest is going to win this football game. Now, also, they have some stud wide receivers, and Tyler Moore had 6 catches last week for 100 yards, and they're bringing back Donovan Green. Last week had 3 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown. Also 1 rush, 24 yards and a touchdown. Kid missed all of last year, was an absolute stud the year before. They have 2 really, really good wide receivers. I'm not as high as some, maybe not as down as some on Backermeyer, but I think the kid can play. They do this little fake run, and he acts like he's going to run the ball every time he throws it. It's kind of funky looking, but it works, and I think it kind of gives them a little extra time and throws off the defense. I like Wake Forest here. I think they move the ball enough. They have Claiborne and Carney, 2 dual running backs that they can split time. Look for Wake Forest to control the offensive line, control the defensive line, and win this football game in the trenches. I think the Cavaliers turn the ball over, and Wake Forest wins this game. We just need them to win. So, I mean, I like this look a lot. Plus, they have lost 5 straight meetings and 0-7 last 7 meetings versus Wake Forest. So I like the trend here. Cavaliers have an issue with, of course, with the Wake Forest Demon Deacons here. So give me the Demon Deacons minus 130. Get a better number on it now, I believe. And then this last game here, I might lose some of you guys here. We started off a little, then we might lose some of you here with this next game. I know you don't have a graphic for this one. Northern Illinois going into the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. All right.
Oh.
So this right here, I have two plays, half a unit each, but however the fuck you want to track it. I got Northern Illinois first half plus 17. I got Northern Illinois plus 28.5 full game. Now, this simply is what I've learned. I've been doing this for an awful long time. When teams play as physical and as big a game as you played last week in Notre Dame and Texas A&M, that was a grown man's fucking football game. That was 48 minutes of fucking, oh my God, I'm getting hit every fucking time. Physical play. These boys were ready for a break. Believe me, and then they got Notre Dame next week. So another in-state rival or an in-state rival, way bigger game. They're going to be coasting through this game. Northern Illinois actually has some talent. Now, you're thinking Northern Illinois MAC team. They're one of the better MAC teams, and most importantly, they're one of the bigger MAC teams in the trenches. So they don't have that tiny offensive line. Are they going to look like Notre Dame? Are they going to look small to Notre Dame? Absolutely, but not as small as we think. Also on the defensive line, a little bit bigger than you would imagine as well. They have the quarterback Ethan Hampton had 18 for 20 last week. Now, I know it was against Western Illinois. But if you go 18 for 20, 328 yards and 5 touchdowns and spread the ball all over through to 8 different receivers, I'm not expecting him to do this by any means against Notre Dame. Just don't fucking turn the ball over because we're going against probably the number 1 defense in the nation. They do have a stud running back, senior, all 4 years at Northern Illinois. He's ran for over 6 yards per carry. He's 5'10", 220, he's a dual threat out of the backfield as well. Former track star Antario Brown. He's averaging 8.6 yards per catch, 69 rushing last week, 49 through the pass. Didn't really do much because they didn't really need him to. Last year at 1,300 yards, 6 yards per catch, 10 touchdowns, and he's a senior coming back. This is their fucking Super Bowl. This is the Super Bowl for Northern Illinois. Notre Dame could give a fuck about this game. They could probably suit up the C-Boys and get a W. They win this game, but by no means do they cover this game. Northern Illinois first half plus 17, full game plus 28.5. It's good money.
Beautiful. Dutch came out here dropping bombs for us.
Great work, Dutch. Great work.
We got Georgia Tech ATS. We got Michigan ATS. Wake Forest money line. Northern Illinois first half ATS and full game ATS. Thank you, Dutch, for coming on. I know it was early, man. You brought the heat. The chat was absolutely loving it, man. You got a lot of love for the fact that you were able to still put that Florida State jersey on with pride. I respect it. I still wear my A&M shit. They ain't no good, but I still wear it.
Hey, and Matty Ice, I see you, Tank. And they don't have to score, motherfucker. Shit, they could be up 14-0 at halftime. I cash. They could be up 28-0, and my ass cashes. I just don't think Notre Dame is really going to be into this game, and I think Northern Illinois is going to surprise some people. They will score. They're not going to score too much, but they will score today. And most importantly, we will win our bets.
My guy, Big Boss, is going to be boots on the ground there. He's going to that Notre Dame game. He's there right now, actually.
Big nice.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's
that makes me feel even better. Because he's such a fucking diehard Notre Dame fan, and I love me some DJ Big Boss. It's going to be that way. He's going to be sweating in the third quarter, man. He's going to be sweating. Need to go for a smoke break at halftime. Why does my team look so much like shit? Shout out to DJ Big Boss. Shout out to Big Ragu, the whole Who Bangin' Sports crew. Shout out to you, Moose. Shout out to you, Wine Time. Love seeing you on the screen doing your thing in college football. My dude in the chat, Christian Rivas. I see you, my guy. Tank, as always. Daby Cab. Tomorrow, big day, Sunday. Tune in, Jimmy the Bag. Everybody tune in, Jimmy the Bag. I'll be doing, giving out my NFL plays. So we'll do the same thing tomorrow. A little bit later. You know, he doesn't ask as much as Daby Cab does. It's an early motherfucker, man. It's early motherfucker. Hey,
yeah.
I enjoyed it though, fellas. Best of luck.
We brought
today.
the best out. Man.
Hey, I'm so fucking excited, bro. We had football Thursday night, football last night. We got football all fucking goddamn day today. And then we get to wake up to fucking NFL Sunday. Shit, if you mad right now, I don't know what. You better get some better flour in your life. All right, take care, fellas.
Great work.
Hell yeah, much love, Dutch. Bringing the fucking heat right here on Saturday to the tailgate. We got another best bet in the wins. We're only 55 fucking minutes into this show, and I want to go ahead and hit what people have came on and given us. Shout out to our guy TJ Perry from the chat. He did give us Texas -6.5. We got Dutch. He just came in here and dropped 5 bets for you guys. Georgia Tech ATS, Michigan ATS, Wake Forest on the money line, Northern Illinois first half ATS, Northern Illinois full game ATS. Wine time. He is on the under in Michigan, Texas. He is on Syracuse +3. He was on Iowa State ATS. Our guy Moose has already given us Iowa ATS. Kong came in here and brought the heat. He's got Louisville ATS. He's got Ole Miss ATS. He's got the Texas team total under, and he has Tennessee ATS. He also parlayed all of his picks together for a +781. So we've got just bets flying in, man. Everybody in the chat, if you can, keep dropping your bets. Tom Leach dropped the under 45.5 in the Notre Dame game. I've been waiting to hit this one for everyone because we got taint, and I have graphics for it. We got taint on deck. My dude, Matty Ice, he said Toledo -18 or whatever the fuck the spread is that you can get. Don't even worry about it. Taint's going to cash. Nah, we got more taint. For those new to the program, that is the taint play of the day. Shout out to our guy, Matty Ice, right there. But like I said, we got another best bet. And I think this guy's just bringing us one that he knows is going to cash, one that he loves. This is somebody who was one of my first people to meet when I started doing this cap and shit for real in person. And he's been one of my very good friends since that first time we got to hang out. Shout out to my dude right here, Snizzle. What up, Snizzle?
Oh,
Hey, what up?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, boys.
Yes,
We
sir.
fucking made it. We
Happy
made it to a
Saturday
show
college
together.
football.
Cab, let's go.
Let's go.
Fine
go.
time, Moose, my guys. Let's fucking go. Cab, I first and foremost, I love what you're doing with this. You know, you and Moose and me a couple times. You know, 3 years ago, we're doing the live college, and I love the way you've taken this and ran with it. You're getting great at the hosting and producing and everything. So it's been really fun to watch you bring a bunch of great people on and do what we love to do best, which is hang out, but make that money. Let's go.
There we go. There we go. I love it, Snizzle. I love it, man. I'm glad to be back on screen with you again. It's been too long since we've been together kicking it. I'm sure we will this year. How are we getting paid today, man? How are we bringing the money to the chat?
Okay, well, I'm taking the Buckeyes third quarter over 13.5 points in that Buckeyes game there.
Okay.
Reason being, it's pretty simple to me, is the Buckeyes start off slow and they seem to pick it up. Like with Ryan Day, it just seems to be this way. They start off slow and then they'll pick it up. So I'll be also looking as if Western Michigan is keeping it somewhat close early, I'll be looking to take some halftime action there. But that don't pop off till 7:30 tonight. I really like that play. I think we can at least see 2 tutties there, if not more, in that third quarter.
Hell yeah. So it's just
like
is it the team total over 13.5 or is it just the
Just
total?
for the quarter. And that I got that at -114 over at FanDuel.
Yo, that is a beautiful bet. And for people that, you know, are expecting just regular sides and total, Snizzle is, I know this is a weird word, but intimate with this Ohio State team. He knows them. he knows them very well. He knows what to expect. And I love it. I mean, I'd even consider tailing that. So you got over 13.5. So you just need 2 touchdowns in that third quarter. I love it, man.
Right. And I did end up jumping on 2 other plays, and it seems like we're all correlated here with the Iowa. I got the 2.5. I think that's a casher. And Toledo -18. And right before I was gonna say that, it's the Taint Pod. So I'm like, yes, we're for sure locking that in. So those are my 3 plays that I really like today. And I'll also be watching this Texas Michigan game very closely. I lean towards Texas, but I'm not too keen of the number. So I get where Dutch is at with all that. It makes sense. And if you can get a prop, maybe Michigan's running back could be a good spot there. But I'll be keeping my eyes on that. So follow my Twitter if you want some live action today.
Hey, no pressure at all, and I don't mean to put you on.
Is that what you're going live for?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
if
I'll
you wanna
come back.
if you want to
I'll
come
come
have a
back.
beer or 5 with me, I'd love it.
No doubt. Yeah, I'll come back. But yeah, short and sweet. Love you guys, man. And you will see me later
Appreciate
with
it.
my boys. Let's get this
Let's
money.
go.
Let's
Oh,
go,
yeah.
Snizzle. Much
Love
love,
you
my dude.
guys.
Appreciate you. I'll see you soon, man.
My guy.
Shout out to Snizzle. We got another one who's going to be real quick. I told you guys we don't play. We don't got time to stop. We got to keep it moving. And then we will get to Winetine's thoughts. We'll get to Moose. Winetine, if we get to a point where we're going to lose you, tell me. But this guy, I know this guy's quick. We've only seen him twice up here on Pub. I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of him. He's a lot of fun, and he brings the action straight to your face. My dude, Nunya Betts.
Yes,
What up,
sir.
Nunya?
Let's go, Nunya.
Okay.
Yo,
See what
yo,
we're doing?
Nunya.
Oh,
We had some technical difficulties with the computer, but we're here. We up. We up
Hey.
and at 'em.
We don't need the computer. We just need the bets.
And that Modelo.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I'm glad you
Okay,
popped
so-
back on here with us, Nunya.
Yeah,
What are you
yeah,
looking
yeah,
at?
yeah.
What are you
I'm
looking at today, my dude?
Arkansas, baby. Someone in the chat said, I don't see the chat right now, but someone said, who's on Arkansas? Well, I am. I'm going to take that money line. I'm going to sprinkle it. But I got the plus 9.5 parlay with Taylor Green. 2+ TDs.
Ooh.
Now, let me see. 3+, you can get at plus 200. I think Arkansas is going to air it out. What y'all think?
Dude, I love the way you bet. Because Nunya, you don't bring us minus 110 bets. You know, you're the person.
Minus 116 on the 2+ TDs. I
Oh,
parlayed
okay.
that with Arkansas plus 9.5. I got a plus 185. On it.
let's
Plus
go.
185. Plus 185. Hey, I love it, Nunya. I'm on Arkansas with you, man. I'm right there with you on
Let's go,
Arkansas.
let's go. And pump it up. Let's get that Tulane Green Wave money, baby.
Okay.
Come on. Quit
Okay.
messing with me. They put 52 up on Southeastern Louisiana last week. They ain't messing around. Tulane coming to play.
You got the
Y'all
money
know what
line,
it is.
or you got the spread or the money line?
Spread.
Okay.
I think I got what I get.
Checking
I
his
think I got
bets.
10.
Beautiful, man. I think Jimmy's on Tulane too. So you and our guy Jimmy the Bag will be rocking together right there, man.
That's another money line. That's another good looking upset though for 11 a.m. Those are my two dogs for 11 a.m. Arkansas and Tulane. You know?
I love it, man. I'm gonna, it's funny because I'm gonna be live for the Michigan Texas game. It's gonna be hard for me not to watch Arkansas. I'm gonna be watching.
Put no money down on that Michigan Texas game.
I
I
hadn't
do
either.
not like Michigan at all. I like Texas. Everybody I ever met from Texas is pretty good people. I'm biased on Texas right here. Hey, Ewers he's gonna do his thing. We're gonna see it. He's gonna prove himself today. Maybe not. Maybe so.
If it was like 4.5, I would have bet Texas. I would have already bet it.
Well, I'd feel safe at 5.5, to be honest. But it gets weird at that close. I mean, it could be a Texas blowout. To be honest, we just wait and see. Just wait and see.
We'll figure it, man. We'll figure it. Well, Nunya, I got you on Arkansas plus 9.5. You put that with Taylor Green to have over 1.5 touchdowns and got all the way up to
Yes.
plus 185.
2+.
You sprinkled the money line, and then I got you on Tulane ATS, right?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful,
I'll get on
Nunya.
those for 11 a.m. I'll have more later on.
Well, hey, if you get more later on, and you want to come have another beer with me on the live stream, I'll drop you this. I'll drop you the link for that too.
Yes, sir. I'll be chilling.
Hell yeah, Nunya. I'll see you
be
soon, my
good.
Good
dude.
shit, my guy. Good shit.
Bubba!
Yeah, Nunya. Much love, man.
All right,
Beautiful.
Cap, I got one game and I got to get out of here.
Let's hear it.
All right, guys. We're going to talk about Pac-2 after dark. No more Pac-12 after dark. Pac-2 after dark. This is going to be a good one right here. We got Washington State going up against Texas Tech. Both these teams coming off scoring a shit ton of points last week. You look at Texas Tech, man. They blew a pretty big lead against Abilene Christian, going to overtime. Abilene Christian tries to go for 2 in overtime in Lubbock for the win. Couldn't get it there, man. You look at Texas Tech, though, man. They returned their running back, Brooks, man. Guy's an NFL back, 6 foot, 220, 225, big dude, really fast, too. Definitely going to be an NFL type of back. Look at Washington State on the other hand, bringing their quarterback, who's the backup for Cam Ward the last couple of years. I know they didn't play nobody in week 1, man, but this kid looked just like Cam Ward did last year, honestly, in the pocket. He was making the big time throws. Looked really good, looked really comfortable. I mean, this is his 3rd year in the offense with this coach, Jake Dickert. I like this coach, honestly. I like what he brings to the table. His guys always played for him, honestly. They're going to be playing at Washington State, man, where it's going to be fucking rocking. It's going to be rocking. It's only going to be about 40,000 strong, but that place is going to be rocking. We already know that. We saw, like I said before, we saw both teams score a lot. This is, I think, the highest total on the board, if not one of them. I got in at the 65.5. I still like the 66. I like it all the way up to 70. This game's going way over 70. These are going to be big type of plays, 60, 70-yard touchdowns. If they don't score the first couple of drives, I might have to get on that live over if it drops anything more, which I know it will. But I'm loving this over, man. I think there's going to be points here, man. 2 offenses that can really throw the football and 2 defenses that can't stop anybody. Let's be honest. So over 66, minus 110.
Beautiful. Moose, you got any thoughts on that one before we let Wine Time bounce?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I have to throw out there is Texas Tech looked awful. They looked horrific, but that defense should be better. I mean, they shouldn't be that bad, but that's the only way I'm looking at this game would be an over. I don't think they are that bad, but against a team that knows how to pass and a team that doesn't really know how to defend it, I think the over is probably the best look in this game. I mean, Washington State is a side, but their defense is not exactly a defense I'd want to put my money on.
Gotcha. Wine Time. I love doing this with you, man. I know you're about to hop over to Who Bangin'. Everybody in the chat, don't just hear me. Listen. Who Bangin'. Make sure and go subscribe and check out what my guy Wine Time's doing over there. Check out DJ Big Boss and Big Ragu. Those are as good as it gets when it comes to college football cappers. I'm just trying to be like those guys. You understand what I'm saying? So shout out to Big Ragu. Shout out to DJ Big Boss. Wine Time. I'll see you again for the live stream. I love doing this with you, my dude. Any last word for the chat before you bounce out?
Yeah, Cab, always a blast, my man. I'm sorry I have to get out of here kind of quick. But yeah, guys, check me out, Boston Sauce, when this is over. We're going to be starting it up about 20, 25 minutes, talk about some more of the games for about 30 minutes, and catch me back here for a live stream about an hour, man. Looking forward to it, man. Let's make some cash today, fellas.
Hell yeah, Wine Time. Much love, my dude. Moose, we do have one other person in the wings who I am excited to bring up here. But as everybody knows, the end of the show is Moose's. I give him the reins and I let him run with the Moose droppings, with the show me your titties. TTs, I like to say titties though. The end of the show is going to be Moose, and we're going to let him run. I'm going to recap all these bets. I'm going to give you my bets. I'm going to recap you guys' bets in the chat. But we still got another person ready to come give you some best bets on this Saturday. And this guy, everybody says one of the best young cappers in the game. I don't even look at him as a young guy anymore. I really don't. He is a young guy who's killing the game. But he seems like a vet to me. My good friend here, Billy. What up, Billy?
What up, Moose? What up, Daby Cab? Thank you for the kind words. My voice sounds fucked up, but I had to give out these plays.
I love it. Hey, it sounds good to me, man. Sounds good to me. It's rocking, and we want to hear it too. I got a list here, Billy. We got about 25 bets, I think, so far.
God damn. This is one that you guys probably talked about. Then, I like this Syracuse Georgia Tech game. It's a 12:00 game, and it's a same game parlay.
Okay.
Syracuse money line, the over 29.5 team total for Syracuse, and Kyle McCord to throw over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and it was plus 318. I feel like all three of those are correlated. If Syracuse wins this game, they're going to have to stop Georgia Tech on the run, and they're going to have to control the clock themselves, and they're going to have to get some explosive plays together. Kyle McCord put up career highs in his first start with Syracuse. We talked about it last year on your and Dutch's show about how much money Syracuse has put into their football program in hopes of doing what they're doing now 6 to 8 months later. And this is the game that they're talking about like in the boardroom meetings about a year ago about we want to be a football school. Can we be a football school? Fuck this NIL deal money. Basketball isn't like that. We want to have a football school finally. And they got a football school. I think they're going to get this dub here against Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech's a little bit fraudulent. They played on primetime television, so like the public cognition of them is better of them right now. But if you look at Syracuse's schedule, bro, this is the team that you need to be on, man. Dark horse of this fucking ACC. You can make a case, bro. Look at their schedule. They play Ohio, Georgia Tech, Stanford's a hard one, Holy Cross, at UNLV, at NC State, at Pittsburgh, Virginia Tech, Boston College, Cal, UConn, Miami. Like,
boy, that is a cakewalk.
That's a cakewalk schedule. Syracuse is probably going to fuck around and only have like 3 losses this year. That's wild. And this is a big game for them. So I played, even though he's a dual threat quarterback, I think he's going to get some like roll out the pocket type of plays. Haynes King of Georgia Tech, their quarterback, and Kyle McCord to combine for 500 plus passing yards. It was plus 130.
Oh, so both QBs 500 plus passing yards, plus what did you say, 130?
Yeah, so it's combined. So it's both of them combined 50 yards. So one throws a fucking pick, and then the other one throws an 80-yard touchdown. I'm not complaining.
Right. I love that, man. So Syracuse money line parlayed with their team total over 29.5. You got McCord over 1.5 TDs. What was the juice on that one?
Plus 318. If you wanted to play Kyle McCord straight on his over 1.5 passing touchdowns, it was minus 160. Syracuse team total was minus 114 odds, and Syracuse money line was plus 116 when I got it on this ticket.
Hey, I don't know if you've seen, but we have talked about this game, but everybody that's been on screen is all over the place. I mean, we've had people on both sides. So this is going to be an interesting game. I mean, people literally been everywhere spread on this.
I think this is the game of the day. Like, all jokes aside, bro, from the because I'm deep into the Syracuse like college basketball scene. They want to be a football school for the 12 o'clock games. Like, it's kind of interesting to see, like, can money buy you what you want? Because, I mean, for a lot of these colleges and universities, you get a bunch of a fucking bag. Look at Arkansas for basketball this upcoming season. That used to be a football school. They have the best coach in the country with probably the #1 recruiting class in college basketball this year. Like, that's wild. Like, a lot of these schools that we remember are starting to, like, change. Like Duke last night. Duke's a fucking basketball school. They're out here like 2-0 to start off the season.
Hey, I will say this. I need Arkansas to be a football school today because I took them at plus 7.5. That line's all the way up to 9.5 or 10 now. But whenever I say that,
I don't like that. I've never seen a college football player prop at minus 1,000 odds for an anytime touchdown and plus 200 for a first touchdown for Willie Gordon. I think he's the best player in college football.
The running back for OKC?
Yeah, he's the best player in college football.
Yeah. Well,
he's really good.
He's
really
very good. He's very good.
He's really
Like,
good.
if you play the video game, it's like, wow, this dude is like, they make him like, remember Adrian Peterson in like those prime Madden games?
Of course I remember
Like,
Adrian Peterson.
They're making him like that in the video game. And then everybody was kind of like, all right, this dude's a little bit too good in the fucking video game. There's no way a running back's getting 400 fucking yards in a video game. And then you see him play week 1 and you're like, no, this dude should be in the NFL right now. Like, he would be a top 10 NFL running back if he stepped on the field today.
Well, I love the bets. I don't know if I think that it's the best game on the board today. I have to say I might agree with that.
The 12 o'clock early slate. The 12
Michigan,
o'clock
Texas.
It's not even in the early slate.
Michigan, Texas
Texas, Billy.
is like the most. Are we really doing this game for real? Are we really doing this? Everybody thinks Michigan's live. They're plus 7.5. In reality, that game should be like a fucking 12.5 line, and Texas is probably going to rout them by double digits.
So you bet in Texas?
No, we have a lot of shit on the slate today, and with basketball being right around the margins, I'm getting hot in the WNBA. WNBA's tomorrow, UFC's tonight, Bellator's today. Cage Warrior starts in an hour. I don't need to press on leans in college football today, but I do like the team total under for Michigan. Under 17.5, bro. I don't think this is going to be that high scoring of a game. Like it's going to be like a 21-14 final score.
Okay. So also liking the under. You want to go ahead and plug what we got going on the channel for UFC and everything today and let everybody know where they need to be tuned into?
Yeah, we got UFC Vegas 97 for Brazil Independence Day tonight. And we have Sean Brady, the Philly native, taking on a Gilbert Burns. And we have Bellator going on. Mills got boots on the ground with the Pub Sports Radio media passes. He's got boots on the ground. He'll be sitting cage side. He'll be on the screen. I don't think he'll be able to talk, but he'll be on the screen as well. So got boots on the ground in Bellator. We got UFC with TC on the commentary. I'm giving out bets. And then we got the icing of the cake, little Cage Warriors today. It's a great day to be a sports betting fan. Like the dark days of summer are finally fucking over. Like
It's
we
done.
get action. It feels weird having 8 to 10 bets because I'm a low volume better. So having like 8 to 10 bets on like a Friday or a Thursday is just like, but then like you see your bank account after and you're like, all right, this is the dark days are over.
I love it, man. Well, Billy, thank you for bringing us this action. You brought us some plus money, some beautiful plus money, man. I will definitely be tuned in and kicking it with you guys on UFC later, man. You got any last words for the chat before we keep this thing rolling, man?
Yeah, you can never call me a chalk donkey ever again. I give you guys all plus monies today.
No more calling Billy a chalk donkey. I love it. But we've had some good quotes in this show today.
Mm-hmm.
Some
bars.
good quotes. Chalk donkey. What the fuck is? I
don't know,
man.
but I'm using it. I'm stealing that. I'm claiming it as my own.
Oh, I am too. Before I let Moose go crazy and run wild, everybody, I want to make sure if I haven't called out anybody's bet in the chat, please drop it again. Jesse Nunez, he said he's got the under 21.5 first half in the Michigan-Texas game. So shout out to you, man. I want to see if there's anything else I missed in there. Again, if I missed your bet and I haven't called it out today, please drop it again so I can highlight it and call it out for everyone. I'm going to do a recap real quick, Moose, of what everybody on screen's given us. And then I'm going to let us roll. I'm going to let you roll. Dutch, he came on. He gave us Georgia Tech ATS. He gave us Michigan ATS. He gave us Wake Forest money line, Northern Illinois first half and full game ATS. So we got 5 from Dutch. The Taint play of the day is Toledo minus 18. Shout out to my dude Taint. TJ Perry, he is on Texas minus 6.5. Wine Time, our guy came in right off the top. He gave us the under in that Michigan-Texas game. So we got action all over that game. He gave us the Washington State over. He gave us Syracuse +3, and he gave us Iowa State ATS. Moose heads up against our guy Wine Time. Moose is on Iowa ATS. Kong came in. He gave us Louisville ATS. He gave us Ole Miss ATS. He gave us Texas team total under. So another bet that's different in that Michigan-Texas game. He also gave us Tennessee ATS, and he put a parlay together with all of his picks at +781. Snizzle dropped in and gave us some love on his Ohio State Buckeyes. He said take the third quarter over 13.5 in the Ohio State game. He also took Toledo minus 18. And then Nunya came in. He gave us Arkansas money line with a sprinkle. He also took the +9.5 ATS. He took Taylor Green over 1.5 touchdowns, parlayed with the +9.5. He got that at +185. And then he took Tulane ATS. So we did have a bet on Tulane right there. Billy just came in. See how much action we've had, Moose? It's crazy. Billy just came in. He gave us Syracuse money line plus their team total over 29.5, along with McCord over 1.5 tutties. That is +318. Do not call him, what is it, juice donkey?
Chalk donkey.
Yeah, he is no longer a chalk donkey. He also has both quarterbacks to have 500+ passing yards at +130. So 2 plus money bets in that Syracuse game from our guy Billy the Kid right there. Moose, I'm going to just say what I got real quick. I'm on Tennessee first half ATS. I'm on Tennessee full game ATS. I took Arkansas full game. I did it. I took them. I took Nebraska over Colorado, which is a game I would like to talk about before we wrap this whole thing up. I took Nebraska ATS, and then I got Wake Forest ATS. So those are my 5 bets today. I got 5 bets. I'll probably have more as the day goes on. I will post them. But that's it. We've talked about everybody but the one and only Mr. Moose Money Bets. Let's look at your best bets first, Moose. I'll put up the graphics if we got it. And then we're going to get to Moose droppings. Everybody in the chat that's still rocking with us, we're right at 200 people. Hit the like button, pump it, get us up there. Show everybody you like this show, because if we don't get support, it won't be here. I just tell you that, right? Like this show has a lifeline. If we don't get support, I won't be here. So thank you guys for rocking with us. Show that you support it. Hit the like button, share it. Go to Pub Sports Radio on Twitter. Share it on there. Leave a comment on the show after it. All that good stuff, man. You guys know the drill. Moose, what's the first one you want to look at?
First, before we get into it, I did see it kind of going through the chat. A little moment of silence here for Tease, because anytime you see somebody paying a respect to a legend, I do want to hop on that as well. And just if we could give a 5-second moment of silence for one of the capping legends, R.I.P. Tease. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Sometimes we don't appreciate the people while they're here, and we appreciate them too late. So go appreciate somebody today, somebody in your life, somebody you might not have talked to in a little while. Go give them some appreciation. Let them know I care about you. I like that you are in my circle of life. But let's get into let's get to the gridiron over the circle here. Let's talk a little Arkansas, Oklahoma State. We've had a lot of discussion about that, and I do want to throw my 2 cents in there. I know Briz talked about Ollie Gordon being potentially the best running back in the country. I don't really think he's too much better than potentially the running back on the other side of the field.
I love it. Love it.
I can see why the line is moving against Arkansas. Arkansas is 1-6 straight up and 2-5 ATS in road games versus non-conference Power 5 teams. Pittman has done very poorly on the road, 4-13 straight up. But he is 9-3 as an away dog. Pittman has not done well versus top 25 teams. He's 5-17 straight up since 2012. Since 2012. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's too early for me. Oklahoma State is 11-2 straight up, 8-5 ATS in non-conference home games versus FBS teams. In the last 5 years, OK State's non-conference games have been versus not great teams. Tulsa twice, Central Michigan, Arizona State, and South Alabama. They covered the number 1 time, and they lost outright to South Alabama. Arkansas is significantly better than any of those teams. I like Arkansas in this matchup, but how does their defense do against Oklahoma State? That's a huge unknown to me. Arkansas is expected to really struggle versus the run, and guess what? Oklahoma State's going to do really, really, really well. I have major questions about the Oklahoma State defense as well. This is something that I kind of found very interesting. The new defensive coordinator, Brian Nardo, has never coached at the FBS level. He coached last year at Division II Gannon University, named after Rich Gannon. Don't know. And before he was that, he was the linebacker coach at FCS powerhouse Youngstown State. The only thing I think I know that the only thing I think I know about Youngstown State is that their mascot is the penguin from Mario 64. I'm not sure. Somebody can confirm that. But last year, Oklahoma State struggled with the run and did not look significantly improved for South Dakota State, allowing a 4.4 yard per carry. I think there's a lot of running in this game, and that could wreak havoc on any overs. But I believe Arkansas is successful running the ball with Green and Jackson both being a threat to run on any given play, which means I believe Arkansas scores. I believe they score a lot. I like their team total over 26.5, and I'm going to take Jaquindon Jackson rushing yards over. So first official plays for me with my own little deal here. Arkansas team total over 26.5. I did have to pay a little juice at -135. I'm hoping that the number may have come down since the side's getting bet down. And I took Jaquindon Jackson rush yards over 64.5, -114.
Can you tell me their team total one more time?
It was 26.5.
So you got Johnson, rush yards, 64.
Jackson.
Why did I say Johnson? Jackson, excuse me.
You're thinking Johnson. I get it, though.
That's funny. You're quick.
I
know I just said 29.5.
26.5.
26.5. 26.5.
Yeah.
So Arkansas team total over 26.5. And then you got Jackson's rush prop over 64.5. I tell you what, and I'll touch on this one a little bit too. Petrino. My biggest thing is I'm a big offensive fan when it comes to Bobby Petrino's offense. I think at A&M last year, it was a shell of what he actually wanted to do. Jimbo Fisher had him, securely pressed under his thumb. And I broke this down with Jimmy. I said it. You got two competing personalities with coaches right there. Here at Arkansas, Petrino's going to be able to do what he wants. And I know that it's an FCS team and you should be able to do whatever you want. But being able to go down the field 10 times and put up 10 touchdowns in that first game, that's impressive from Arkansas. I don't care if it's an FCS team or not. Getting a touchdown every time you touch the ball is pretty cool. And I think Petrino's going to, take this Arkansas's offense to the level that they've needed, that they've been trying to get to. I got Arkansas covering the spread here. I think Oklahoma State wins it in a close game. But I got the Razorbacks. I need them to cover the spread for me. Be interested to see where it goes. Where are we going next, Moose? We actually do got to get rolling. Where are we going next?
We're going to Tennessee at North Carolina State.
Tennessee, North Carolina State. Of course, I don't have a graphic for that, even though I loaded up on this game, man. I'm on Tennessee, both sides, every which way. Let me know what you're looking at. Let me know what you think.
Samesies. This game is being played at a neutral site at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Tennessee 6-1 straight up, 5-2 ATS versus the ACC. Heupel 9-2 straight up, 8-3 ATS at a neutral site field. But as an away favorite, he is 4-3 ATS. NC State has lost their last 4 games, 1-3 ATS versus the SEC. At a neutral field, Dave Dorn is 3-6 straight up and 4-5 ATS. So a lot of these numbers are skewed towards Tennessee as a home dog, because technically they are in Carolina. Dorn is 12-11, but has not done well ATS versus non-conference opponents, 24-25. The line has moved significantly to Tennessee. It has moved around 6.5 points from, I believe it was 4.5 under a touchdown, and now it's about -10. Over 95% of the bets are on Tennessee, but there are big bets coming in on North Carolina State. Grayson McCall has been a better runner than a passer in his collegiate career, but North Carolina State's first game against Western Carolina, he was almost exclusively used as a passer. I actually expect him to return to more of a scrambling quarterback that utilizes his legs. If North Carolina State is planning on him passing more than running, I have some serious questions about the plan of attack. In the last 3 years, Tennessee has only been double-digit favorites twice and went 1-1 ATS, but they did lose to South Carolina outright as a -22-point favorite. But again, that was conference play SEC. Those teams do generally know each other very well. Tennessee has done really well as a double-digit dog under Heupel, 14-5 ATS. Double-digit dog, 14-5 under Heupel. Tennessee should win this game, and I believe by margin. The concern is the secondary of Tennessee, and I think that's kind of why Grayson McCall was passing so much in that first game, was to kind of get him ready for a Tennessee game where they're expecting they're going to have to keep up, and they're going to have to keep up with passing. Tennessee coming out of that game 26-40 and missing open receivers with generally clean pockets does not inspire a lot of confidence on the North Carolina State side, because he did miss some wide open receivers. There is confidence in McCall. I understand betting him. If you think he's going to be successful, you're probably on the North Carolina State side. I don't think he's a great passer. I think the Tennessee rush defense is going to be very good. I like this as a double up spot. I don't see much of a back and forth game. I see more of an NC State team trying to hang around, and Tennessee just keeps on moving the ball. Tennessee run game is going to be way too much for North Carolina State D-line that struggled versus a Western Carolina. This is Tennessee, not Western Carolina. They struggled against them in the rushing attack. Tennessee, go balls. First half, -5.5. Full game, -9.5.
Beautiful. I'm on the first half. I'm on the full game. I got first half at -4. I got full game at -7. But listen, just like anything else, I got Arkansas at +7.5, and that motherfucker's +10 now. Okay. Numbers move both ways. They go against you and for you. Just make sure and follow us on social media. Make sure and tune in to Pub Sports Radio. Hit the notification button. So anytime a video pops up, you'll know it. And then you don't got to worry about line movement. If you want to tail, you can get in on what we're in. Shout out to you guys in the chat. I saw our guy, Joe Tardo, dropped Memphis -18.5 right there. Shout out to you, Joe, coming in and dropping the Tigers on us right there. Moose, what's next? Because we really do got to roll. We got 10 minutes and we got to be done.
All right, let me get through 2 here. Hopefully I can get through these. I am going to take you to a game I told you about last night, Cab, with North Carolina. So I was looking at this game, and I wanted to figure out a way to be on Omari and Hampton, because if we remember what happened last week to Max Johnson, Dunzo, he's out. He was looking awful before he got hurt. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise that now they're going. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name?
The backup that came in after Johnson. Don't even just go.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Harrell, I think. Oh, Harrell. There you go. I really think that Mac Brown is going to switch the gears, and they're going to be becoming a rushing team. Omari and Hampton is a dude. He had to single-handedly win that week 1 game against Minnesota. And Minnesota's a legit run defense. And they were stacking the box and everything. They now have a perfect game here to figure out their new offense with live game reps. I fully expect this offense to revolve around their best skilled player on the offense, which is Omari on Hampton. I think he gets over 30 carries here. And if you're telling me that Omari and Hampton is going to get over 30 carries, he's running for 200 yards. Charlotte just let JMU rack up 198 yards on 4.7 yards per carry. Omarion averaged 4.2 yards per carry versus a Minnesota run defense that stacked the box and should be a good run defense this year. James Madison is a pretty good run defense, but they don't have Omari and Hampton. I'm sorry, a pretty good run offense, but they don't have Omari and Hampton. This is a significant step down in competition. And unless Mac Brown wants to force feed the passing game to get Harrell passing reps, I expect a veteran coach to start putting together his running back-centric offense. Omari and Hampton didn't score a touchdown last week, but if my theory is that this becomes a running back-centric offense, then I'll bet Hampton runs a lot, picks up yards this week, and scores a touchdown. 2 touchdown prop is fine, but I really like the yards. And if you parlay that with a touchdown, you get some plus money. So I took Omari and Hampton rushing yards over 112.5. And I also parlayed that with a rushing touchdown, which puts it at a plus 114 odd.
I love that bet. You already know I do because we talked about it last night. Yeah. I love that bet. So you got Hampton over 112.5 plus a rushing TD, and you get that at plus 114. I love it. Yep. What's the last one?
Let's go Colorado, man. Let's go Colorado.
Yeah, okay. Let me hear it.
All right. First off, the whole hype about, Coach Prime and, that he's going to turn this program into a perennial powerhouse. Get off that soapbox. Like that's not happening.
I mean, I still believe in I'm betting on Nebraska, and I still believe in Coach Prime. I wanted A&M to go get Coach Prime. God, I wanted it so bad. Go ahead.
But if you look at their adjustment from year 1 to year 2, like the idea that they didn't do much of anything on the defensive side is extremely concerning. Nebraska leads the series 49-21. They're 49-21-2 ATS. Rule has not done well as a home favorite ATS, 2-3 with Nebraska, 13-16 college career. Colorado has won the last 3 matchups straight up and ATS against Nebraska. Since 2012, Colorado's on a 6-2 run to the over in non-conference road games. Spoiler alert, that might be where I'm going in this game. This game wouldn't need a trend for people to look at the over. Both offenses look like they're going to be very good this year, and the Colorado defense, looked holier than the Pope on Sunday. Nebraska looks like the obvious side, but Colorado has done extremely well ATS, even though they have done very poorly straight up. The weakness of Nebraska is the secondary. Guess what Colorado does really, really well and has Heisman players at? Their passing game.
And receiver.
Yep. Nebraska has a much better offense. Raiola is a more traditional drop back passer, and Nebraska can rotate multiple backs. I expect Nebraska to establish the run early. Nebraska used the 117th slowest tempo in the country last year, so any over is going to have to deal with Nebraska potentially using a lot of clock. Nebraska first half last year was not good, both home and away. Colorado was much better in the first half at home than they were on the road. I have flip-flopped on the side. I feel pretty confident Nebraska wins, but Prime has covered these numbers as a dog. The total is where I feel I have the best play. The first half in both games were higher scoring than the second half. So Nebraska scored more points in the first half. Colorado scored more points in the second half or in the first half. And then the game started slowing down. A double up is tempting, but I'm going to stick to the first half. I do think Nebraska is fully capable of controlling the clock and this game stays under. But last year, Colorado had 5 of their 6 games on the road with a higher first half than second half. The first half over on the road covered 4 of the 6 times. I like the first half a bit more than the full game, but full game would be fine. But if I don't cover the first half, I don't think the full game goes over. So I'm taking Colorado, Nebraska, first half over. What was the number I put in? 28. So first half over 28.
All right. Got you in here. First half over 28. I want to be clear for the chat because, people in the chat have different opinions. People on screen have different opinions. There's no Prime hate for me. Moose might have given a little bit of it there. I love Coach Prime. I'm a huge fan of Coach Prime. I have been for a long time. I think he's a good coach. I think he's an even better recruiter. I'm just betting Nebraska today. It simply comes down to the offensive line. It comes down to the trenches for me. I think Nebraska is gonna be able to blow Colorado off the line of scrimmage. And last year, Nebraska, even though they lost that football game, they were able to get 6 sacks on Shedeur. And I think that their front 7 on defense is even better this year, and Colorado's offensive line is even worse. So I think they're going to be able to get a ton of pressure on him. That's why I like Nebraska. But there is absolutely no hate for Coach Prime here. I'm a Coach Prime fan. Just going to say it.
I do like him. I do like him. But the idea that he's like going to be turning this team into a national champion, I mean, he's probably going to end up going somewhere else because he is great for college football in terms of where it's going with the NIL and, the transfer portal. He is fantastic. He's a great fit. But so I forget what an analyst said it. There has been more information given about Colorado and how to scheme them than any other coach in college football. There's a lot of people, a lot of coaches out there that want to see the downfall of Coach Prime. And I like the guy, but I do think that the hype is a little bit too much on the guy.
I'll say it again. I wanted him in A&M. But this is a conversation for maybe a Medicaid Monday show.
Yep.
I'm going to do this real quick for everyone in the chat. Shout out to my dude, BT. He said, continued success, man. Love the rapid fire format and skills and guests. Chat, thanks advance for the winner. He said it right there, man. You guys in the chat are the best. I want y'all to have a chance to ask Moose some questions. Drop them right now. We don't have as much time as I'd like on this last part. So if you have a question about a game that we didn't cover, a prop that you didn't get to talk about, whatever the hell it might be, if you have a question about, this Saturday, drop it in the chat right now while I'm recapping these bets from everyone. Moose will hit them, and then we're going to move on to the live stream, Michigan, Texas. All right, we got Tank play of the day, Toledo -18. TJ Perry came in the chat. He dropped us Texas -6.5. Our guy Dutch Boy Fresh, he is on Georgia Tech. ATS. He is on Michigan ATS. He is on Wake Forest money line. He has Northern Illinois first half and full game ATS. Wine time. He is on the under in the Michigan Texas game. He is on the over in the Washington State game. He is on Syracuse +3, and he is on Iowa State ATS. My guy Moose is going against him right there. He's got Iowa in that game, so Moose is on Iowa ATS. He's got Hampton, Amarian Hampton, over 112.5 rushing yards, plus an anytime touchdown, rushing touchdown at +114. Moose has Tennessee first half and full game ATS. He has the first half over 28 in the Colorado-Nebraska game. He has the Arkansas team total over 26.5, and he has Jackson's rushing yards over 64.5. Moving on, we got our guy Kong. Like I said, guys, we bring a lot of bets to you guys here. We got our guy Kong Clips. He's got Louisville ATS. He is on Ole Miss ATS. He's got the Texas team total under, and then he's on Tennessee ATS. He put all of his bets together in a parlay. That's going to give you +781 right there. Snizzle, my guy from the land, our dude coming in from Cleveland. He dropped Ohio third quarter over 13.5 at -114. And he dropped Toledo -18. And then we got a special guest. Our dude Billy the Kid dropped in, brought us some plus money. So we can't call him a chalk donkey anymore. He brought Arkansas money line with the sprinkle. And then he also brought Taylor Green over 1.5 touchdown passes along with Arkansas +9.5. You're going to get +185 for that. And then he also has Tulane ATS. And that about wraps it up for everybody that came on screen and fired away. Thank you for all the great cappers that came on. Moose, thank you. Chat, I love you guys. I love doing this. Let's see if we got some questions for my dude Moose. And then wrap this shit up and go get paid. Thoughts on Boise State +19.5 in Oregon. Line feels high. For me, Joe, and I'm going to let Moose take it because this is Moose droppings. I don't know what the hell to expect out of Oregon. That first week, is it an overreaction? Is it not? I guess we're going to find out. What you thinking, Moose?
Could you guys believe that Oregon's never beat Boise State, that they're 0-3? That was shocking to me when I was like, wait, really? They've never won once? Dan Lanning is 12-1 at home in Oregon and 9-3 as a home favorite as an ATS. Boise State is 1-3 ATS in their last 4 games versus Power 5 teams. Spencer Danielson in his second year is 2-0 on the road, but has not been an away dog yet. In the last 5 years, Boise has only been a double-digit dog once, and that was last year versus Washington, plus 14, which they did not cover. The only time they were even close to double digits was in 2020, playing at Wyoming as +9 dogs, and they won outright. But it was 2020. It was the COVID year. It was a weird year. We kind of throw a lot of those numbers and trends out. Both teams did not play up to their expectations, but I'm buying more that Boise State has bigger concerns than Oregon does. I expect the Oregon defense to continue to find out how their young talent should be utilized. Oregon shut down the running game, and although Matson played well versus Georgia Southern, I don't believe he's capable of carrying the load if the run game is shut down. Genty was elite. He was unbelievable against Georgia Southern. What was it? He had 20 rushes for 267 yards and 6 touchdowns. Sace touchdowns. The number is there for a reason. If Boise State didn't look like it had more holes than the plot to Godzilla Kong New Empire, I'd be looking at veteran Boise State team. But after week 1, I think the number is accurate. And this seems like a multi-touchdown victory. 3-touchdown victory, not sure. Not betting it.
Okay. I know this is going to be hard, but you got to be even quicker because we got actually several questions coming in.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
This one sounds like you could even be yes or no, but you can give a sentence or two with it. Moose, will Kentucky cover, bro?
Double up first half and full game.
Okay, that's easy right there. Nate Draw, I don't know if that's a question. Oh yeah, question mark. Nate Dogg said Mississippi State +9.5.
I don't know if Arizona State's actually as good as they are. I mean, that seemed like Wyoming may have been playing really poorly, but I lean Arizona State here. But I'm not confident enough in them to lay money on them yet.
Gotcha. Any thoughts on Sam Houston UFC?
Nope.
UCF. Excuse me for saying that. And sorry guys, if it's a no, you got to understand we've capped a fuck ton of stuff to be able to come up here and do this. Old Dominion, Eastern Carolina over 53. I don't know if that's a question or a bet right there. So shout out Jesse Nunez. Sounds like it's more of just a bet that he's dropping. So shout out to our guy Jesse. Con Moose, do you like Quinn Ewers interception +116? I just played it.
I mean, if the game's low scoring, you expect turnovers. But I'm not sure. I mean, Sarkisian's weird. He does seem to go aggressive early and then take his foot off the gas pedal. I mean, I remember, quite a few games last year where it looked like, why'd they all of a sudden abandon the passing game? Why'd they abandon this? So I have no issues with it. Michigan defense is very good, but again, they've lost a lot of guys.
Love it. Well, I think we've made it to the end of another Saturday. I cannot tell you guys in the chat how thankful I am that you choose to tune in on Saturday morning. You got College Game Day. You've got 15. You got 50 other streams you could probably tune into, and you choose to be here with us on Pub Sports Radio. I do not know how to thank you enough. I love capping with you guys. Moose, I love doing this with you. If you guys keep supporting the show the way you are, you keep hitting the like button, keep getting some new members, keep getting, donations. This show will be here every single Saturday. We will keep it live. We will keep it rolling. But that about does it, Moose. We're about to wrap up. We'll be back next week. You got anything you want to say to the chat before we bounce out of here?
Yeah, let me give you a couple. I mean, I can't wear the shirt and then not say that I am on Temple Navy over. Sorry, I am on an over in a Navy game. I am also on Army. If you want any more of the information on what I'm doing here, I am making my Google Doc available to anybody that DMs me, and you're not going to be able to edit it. Like, you're not going to be able to write on there. Right. That would be a big no-no. But I am making it available to anybody that wants it. I'm never, ever going to charge for this. This is just fun for me. Like, I'm a teacher. I have a full-time job, and I care and I'm passionate about that. But I care and am passionate about this capping as well. And I feel like I have to organize my thoughts. If you want to see the organization I put into my thoughts, just DM me and I will add you as a viewer to my Google Doc, which I have now called Moose Dives.
Moose Dives. I love it. We sent a picture to Jose to get a graphic for the Moose droppings. Guys, this show will not only be what it is. We're going to evolve. We're going to try and make it better. So if you guys have opinions or things that you think we need to change or upgrade, drop it. If you're not DMing Moose to get access to that, I don't know what you're doing. Like, he's not just giving you bets, he's giving you analysis, like to the maximum. I'm talking like write-ups for players, for teams. It's incredible. And he's offering it to you for free. And it blows my mind. I'm telling you, you can go pay for bets or pay for information from people. And I promise you, it's not as good as the information he's just going to send to you. All you got to do is reach out to my guy, Moose. I'm going to say it again. I love doing this, Moose. I love you guys in the chat. But I'll get off my soapbox because we got some motherfucking money to go make today, guys. Shout out to y'all. Let's get paid.